Okay, here we have what... Maybe I should turn the TV down. Of course it arrives the second my show comes on. Anyway, Emachines computer. T3... It's either a T3508 or a T3408. And this box... I don't know. It's kind of... feels like it's flopping around in there. But it does feel like it's in some sort of wrapping, so hopefully it's not completely broken to bits. Go ahead and see what's in here. Okay, good. Not packing peanuts. I hate packing peanuts. Okay. Lake Michigan computers. Okay, so this is going to be an Emachines T3408. Valued customer, thank you for your purchase from Lake Michigan Computers. We hope our item meets or exceeds your expectations. So my expectations aren't too high. We did get a power cable, so that's nice. I can throw that in the box with probably 50 or 60 more of those. Get this out of the way. I don't think I just whacked the camera with that, did I?
Finally got you.
So it does look like one of the slot blanks has gotten whacked out of the front cover, but that should just go back in. And if it doesn't, if it's somehow actually broken, I have more of those because I have a bunch of parts for these old Emachines systems. Okay. Go ahead and get this stuff off of it. Someone got a bit happy with the tape there. Okay, the front cover's broken a little bit, but like I said, I got more of those. So, I won't complain too much. As long as the system is still functional, I can replace that. Something sticking out of the back of it, that's interesting. Yeah, very happy with this tape. You know, this does have the sticker on it. I might not even bother replacing this. I can just kind of... It's a straight crack here. I can glue that. I would replace it, but it's still got the original sticker on here, which is, you know, I really like those stickers, so, we'll see what I can do with that. But, I may or may not replace it or glue it. I don't know if I could get this sticker off of here and put it on another one. You're supposed to put these in from the outside, but, oh, it goes this way. Anyway, point is, I'm not going to bother with that right now. So, this thing supposedly has some 2 gigs of RAM in it, which is more. PC World. We got 2 USB ports there. And according to this, we've got Intel Celeron, 2.93 gigahertz, 533 megahertz front side bus, and 256 of level 2 cache. 100 gigabyte SATA hard drive, which I believe has been removed. Now, if we flip this around to the back, Okay, this is what I was referring to. I guess this is a Wi-Fi card of some nature that's been installed into this machine, which is sort of interesting. I don't really use Wi-Fi, but if that is functional, that's definitely would be a nice thing to have. This does not appear to be a Bestech ATX 250-12E, but we will certainly look at that before attempting to fire this up, because if it is, we don't want that in service. Okay. The hard drive caddy is still here, which is nice. A lot of times people remove those. The power supply is a Hypro branded power supply, and so that one should be safe to use. And just looking over the board, a quick overlook. This machine is very clean. I'm imagining they probably dusted this out, because I can't imagine it was that clean to begin with. Now, looking over the board, it does have SATA ports, so I will likely install a SATA hard drive in this, just to get rid of one of these ribbon cables. All the caps look good, and we do have two very fancy looking RAM modules. So I'm interested if this is DDR1 or 2. This is G-Skill RAM. Very fancy looking. And this is DDR2, and these are two 1 GB sticks. So we do indeed have 2 GB of DDR2, which is most likely the max that this system can accept. So we'll go ahead and reinsert these, and I'm not going to do any sort of installation of anything or setting anything up in this video, but we will go ahead and hook this up to a monitor and ensure that it at least does basically turn on, you know, it posts, and we can, the system runs. Because that's mainly what I'm concerned about. I'm not concerned about this. I mean, I can probably glue that, but if not, I have more of these cases from systems where the motherboards have failed, which these were sort of known for. I'm going to try to get it so that I can get the monitor and computer both in frame here. There we go. And let's go ahead and plug the power cable into the computer. We do indeed have a power light and fans spinning. Let's see if we can get into the BIOS here. It might not like my wireless keyboard, I don't know. Keyboard error, F4 to run setup. Yeah, it doesn't like my wireless keyboard, so let me go ahead and grab a PS2 keyboard here. Being Mr. Unorganized here, I have one just laying right here on the floor. Well, technically in this drawer. I picked it up off the floor earlier. So let's try that again.
Any crust you want, and any toppings you want. Oh, and any number of pizzas you want too. Get 50% off your perfect pizza or pizza.
Let's see, what was it, F2 for setup? F2.
6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers.
The mouse? No mouse was found.
Network of parts and kits.
Really? I'm not worried about a mouse. I just want to go into the BIOS. There we go. So we have a dead CMOS battery. At least I'm assuming, because the time is wrong. But I can take care of that. Let's see here. We have our Intel Celeron 2.93 gigahertz. We are recognizing both 2 gigs of RAM. That's about all that I have to say about this for now, because there's no hard drive or anything in this, of course, so we're going to have to install our own. But the system does appear to be fully functional. There will most likely not be a separate video setting this up, because, I mean, I've installed Windows XP probably multiple hundreds of times at this point, and I would expect that it would just be a pretty standard Windows XP installation, and there's really not too much interesting about that. There will be another video of unboxing another Emachines that I ordered. It's a T3408. Now that one I believe has a bit more potential than this one, because this uses a socket 478 CPU. And I do have a couple of those. I have one in here, it's a 2.8 gigahertz Pentium 4 CPU.
Technology you need.
I also have a 3 gigahertz Pentium 4 with hyper-threading CPU. That's a socket 478. And I'm going to try to install that in this machine, and if that works, that would be excellent. But if it doesn't, a standard 478 2.8 gigahertz Pentium 4 without hyper-threading will be more than enough. It'll be fine. Although I will add in later, if this machine does work with that 3 gigahertz processor or not, I will add that in either as a note right here or in the description. If you ever wonder why I put my hand like this, like, you know, saying there's a note there, well, that's so that when I'm editing I can see it in the thumbnail. I wanted to show that it has this sticker on here. You can see the sticker here, and this is in really good shape. I like when they have these stickers still on them. You can see a lot of times they get removed, but the older ones always have a sticker with the specs on it, and I really like that. But this one also has PC World. PC World, highest overall reliability and service. PC World, readers rate the manufacturers, January 2005. And then on the side here, it has this large sticker. Store up to 8.5 gigabytes of your favorite music and data. I don't know if that's software that this would have originally came with or not. Just out of curiosity, does this open? Yes, it does. A lot of times these get jammed, but oh, that doesn't. I don't use disk drives, but that does seem to work just fine. These, I believe, use a gear instead of a belt. No, this one uses a belt. A lot of these use gears instead of belts, which is nice. Of course, I have extras of these. I have about extra of everything that has to do with these old Emachines instead of motherboards, because I really like these old Emachines. But the power supplies were known for blowing up and causing problems with the motherboards failing. So I have all sorts of extra case pieces and all of that. The only thing I don't have are motherboards. But luckily this one does have a Hypro power supply in it, not the Best Tech ATX 250 12E, which was known for blowing up motherboards. One other thing I noticed, aside from the fact that this machine is really clean, which is nice, it must have been cleaned, and that would make sense since this was bought from a company that actually specializes in computers and not some random person, but there's some rust right there, just a little patch of rust, and I don't really understand why, because the CMOS battery hasn't exploded or anything, so I don't understand what would have caused that. But other than that, this machine doesn't appear to have any really blemishes on it. It doesn't have the feet on it. It does indeed have all 4 feet still in place, and that's nice. And if you can make it out, you can use that Windows XP Home Edition thing. Trying to get it in shot here. This machine says, let's see here, Emachines T3408, manufactured by TCN. I don't know who they are. Emachines would, towards the end, started outsourcing a lot of stuff. So I've seen FIC, which is First International Computer. I've seen Trigem, which is the company that actually owned Emachines. So if they say Trigem on them, they made it. I don't know who TCN is. Anyway, is this thing missing the side? No, I took it off. Okay, I was gonna say, if it's missing the cover, that's a real problem. I mean, I've got more, but you know, that's just a piece pure missing. But no, that's there. So, yeah, there you go. One of the cheapest computers you could buy in the early 2000s.
Saturday at midnight on Tsunami.
Okay, so I have installed an operating system, hard drive, and all that on here. I just went ahead and glued this. I was going to replace this whole front bezel, but I wanted to keep this sticker. So And other than this crack, which I'm guessing is from shipping, it's fine. I glued it, and you can kind of see it. Let me see if I can get a light here.
Now through the end of the week, get 50% off on pizzas when you order online.
You can, there, you can kind of see the crack there. It glued together pretty good, so I'm not too concerned about that. It's fine. The disk drive works just fine. I used it to install Windows, and this did indeed work with the new processor. You can see here Windows XP Service Pack 3, Pentium 4, 3 gigahertz, and that is hyper-threading. You can see it's recognizing both threads there. It sees it as 2 cores, but of course it's single core, but it is hyper-threading. So there's that. The RAM that was in it, that red RAM G-Skill, I think is what brand it was. It worked, but for some reason it wouldn't work with the 3 gigahertz processor. It worked fine with the Celeron that came in it, and it worked fine with that 2.8 gigahertz Pentium 4, but it didn't work with this 3 gigahertz Pentium 4, which is really what I wanted to use. So I went ahead and put 2 gigabytes of RAM in it that I already had. It's not fancy like what was in there, but RAM is RAM. And this is actually DDR1. I was mistaken when I said it was DDR2. It looked like DDR2 because I don't know why I thought it was DDR2, but it's not. It's DDR1. Anyway, there's that. The system is up and running. Everything's good here. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, which will be later this week, maybe early next week. Basically the same thing, but with an Emachines T3508.